So, I gotta share. You know, I gotta help my people. Because I don't want anybody to experience what I had to experience. At all. So, really don't like that doorknob. All right. So, yes, I am a Connecticut girl that moved to Florida to follow her dreams. I moved here to follow my dreams, expand Women Moving Forward Outreach, Inc. Yes, my name is Jamisa Brown, and I am a founder of a women's outreach that I started in Bridgeport, Connecticut, as well as a business owner of many, A little bit about me. I'm a Connecticut girl, went to all Connecticut schools, born and raised. The college I went to was University of Bridgeport to obtain my bachelor's in human service and psychology. Double majored. I always been outspoken, bold. I always love to just follow my dreams and do what my heart's desires. I love making me happy, right? I love doing what makes me happy because I do understand that people and things is not what will make you happy. So it's your choice to wake up every day to be happy. So that's a little bit about me. I'm 31 years young. I haven't ever been to jail. So this experience moving to Florida has been a lot. So little story. My first time getting arrested was in 2017. I was leaving a party. I was drinking from 10 to 12. I stopped drinking. We was at a hotel party. Then we didn't leave until like 5 in the morning. And that's when I first experienced racism in Florida. That's when I first experienced being targeted by the law enforcement in Florida. So at that time, I had a Honda Accord. Everybody that know me in Connecticut know I used to drive that Honda with the tents, and I had Connecticut plates. So I still use GPS to this day while living in Florida. So the GPS, everybody know how the GPS says, you think it's telling you to go one way, and then it says reroute, and I was about to get off the wrong exit, and it was like, no, reroute in, and then I went to the other side. Real quick, mind you, my car also needed alignment. I got all the documents proving that my car needs an alignment at this time when I had to go to court because I do my own research, I was a part of the debate team in high school, so I know how to fight my case. But I learned a lot about Florida laws, and Florida laws are not made for the people of color. All right? So, here I am telling the officer I'm fine. He's like, do this test. I said, I cannot do no walking test. I am documented handicapped. My permit is in the window. So he had me do some little tests like that, put something in my eyes. I'm like, sir, it's 5 something in the morning. Oh, you smell like alcohol. I've been around people with alcohol. I was only drinking wine from 10 to 12 and stopped. It's now 5 something in the morning, officer. I think that the wine went away. So he cuffs me and brings me to jail. You can Google my mugshot. It's up there. Somebody said it looked like I was smiling. Of course, I bailed myself out as soon as I got in there. But they still had to keep me for the 8 hours because, quote unquote, that's what you got to do if you get arrested for a DUI. So as I'm in there, I'm talking to everybody. The people that's in there, like the other officers, like, ma'am, you do not seem drunk to me. I know. I'm not. I'm talking to y'all. I'm having real conversations with people. They don't even lock me up in a cell. They got me in this big community room with men and females. And this is the first time I got arrested. And at this time, I was 130 pounds. They tried to say my alcohol limit was 121 over 119. Sir, I should have been pissy drunk. I shouldn't even been driving. I should have been falling out on the ground if you want to do the weight with the drinking, All right, so that's the case. Then, on top of that, they don't calibrate those machines that they have you breathe in when you got to go in there. So the breathalyzer, they didn't breathalyze me until I got to the jail, and an hour later. All right? An hour later from getting arrested, getting there, doing the booking, taking my mugshot, all this stuff. Then they have me do this test, this breathing test. I saw the machine with my own eyes say 000 multiple times. And another thing, they will not hire anybody that ever had a DUI before to work that machine because they don't want you to find out that it's rigged. Those machines are rigged. All right? And trust me, I used to have one in my car. I just put on perfume and hand sanitizer and it would go off and it would not start the car until it got to 0. I would have to go in the house, shower, take the perfume off, take the mouthwash out my mouth, don't have no hand sanitizer on for it to be clear. Those machines, they do not calibrate. They let people go to it every time. The only thing they change is a little tube for you to breathe into it. But it still has other people's breath in the machine. And that's what they don't want you to know because they don't calibrate it after every person does the test. They just keep bringing the same people to the same machine. And then it was so crazy the second time. The second time I made sure not to drink because I was driving. When the cop pulled me over, I said, "Officer, why did you pull me over?" He said, "Because you was racing up the ramp to get on the highway." I said, "Sir, you're not supposed to pick up speed when you're going on a ramp on the highway?" No. So I found out, my lawyer told me, because I am registered as a DUI, I have a DUI misdemeanor in 2017. Because of that, they read my license plate, I am a target. Because that person already had a DUI before. She's out late. It's 2-something in the morning. She is a target. Let's see. He pulls up to my car. I keep my car clean. The only thing that be in my car is water bottles and y'all know I'm a very healthy person. I love drinking water. I love staying fit. So I roll the window down. I'm like, "Officer, why did you, why you arrest me? I mean, not why you arrest me. Why did you pull me over?" "Oh, because you were speeding up the ramp." "You're not supposed to speed up the ramp." "Oh, you were doing 55. You're not supposed to do 55 on the highway." So that night, this is when I feel sexually assaulted. He did not call a female cop to come and search me. The officer also turned off the camera on his car. This is how crooked Florida officers are. They turned off the thing. He gave me instructions with the camera off. Then when it was time for me to do the test, he then put the camera back on. But this is where I felt sexually assaulted. That night, and this is everything I had on, did not wash it. I put it in this bag. So that night, I had on a thong. I had on a see-through dress. This is the dress I had on. The cop looked me up and down inside the car and said, "Step out of the car, ma'am." He not once dispatched for a female officer to come. He looked me up and down, did what he had to do to me, and then said to me, "Okay, you got to do this." I said, "Sir, I am document handicapped. I walk with a limp. I have a tilted hip and pelvic. I cannot do the walking thing." So he had me do certain things. Mind you, I said he had the camera off when he gave me the instructions. Then he said, "Say your ABCs without singing." I said A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I said it like that, militant. I did no singing. He said, "Do not sing the alphabets." Okay, no brainer. I'm gonna do not sing the alphabet. He called another officer, which was a male cop. They had me do the things and all that stuff. Next thing you know, he said, "Ma'am, you're under arrest. You're being arrested for DUI, like all that stuff, right?" He puts me in the car. Once he get in the car, he said, "You said your ABCs. Like, you don't know how to sing your ABCs? You said it without singing." I said, "Sir, you told me not to sing the ABCs." And in the cop car, if they have the recording, they will hear me telling this officer, "You told me not to sing the ABCs. You told me to say it without singing." These cops are crooked. That DUI, that little breathalyzer machine in the jail system is not official. And I am tired of being targeted. All right? And I'm not putting the blame on nobody because, one, I shouldn't have went to that hotel party in 2017. I shouldn't have had the wine drinking 10 to 12, stopping because I'm thinking I'm being responsible, then get arrested because my car was talking. He saw a Connecticut plate with tints and a Honda, and he thought he caught a lick. He thought he saw an outsider from a different state trying to transport something. Because when I rolled the window down, he smiled and laughed. What, you thought I was a guy? No, this is a female's car. That's in 2017. Then, in 2020, February 2020, I now feel sexually assaulted. Just by the way the officer looked at me. Just by the fact he didn't call a female officer to come and do the search. He called another male officer just to watch, and I felt so humiliated. I am tired of these cops in Florida. Then on top of that, they saw that I had a clean record. I am a good, cut, clean female. I live by the book. I live by the freaking book. I do everything I'm supposed to do in this community. I help people better their lives. So all I do, I pray. I ask God to help me through this, because at the end of the day, I am growing through this to help somebody else out. So I had to go through this. God see that I'm strong enough to go through this. So the second time you get a DUI, it is mandatory for you to do 10 days in jail. Florida says if you get a second DUI, you are mandatory to do 10 days in jail. First of all, sir, in March 2020, March 27th, I was tested positive for COVID. And the jail system is closed down right now because of this COVID stuff. They don't really have a lot of people going in and out. You need to focus on the real fucking problems that's going out here in this world. I will do anything else, but I am not going to put myself in the position to do 10 days in a place that I may get sick again. That you may find something and say, oh, because of this, we have to extend your days. I'm not going through it. And the second time, right now, I have a lawyer this time. He's paid in full. I paid him already. And he's going to work this case out. And God is going to work my case out. So when I tell people, when you come to visit Florida, I kid you not, please do not drink and drive. If you're not drinking, still take a Lyft or an Uber. Do not get a rental and drive at night. The nightlife is where the cops targeted. And my mentor, he's a multimillionaire. He's amazing. He teaches me everything that I need to know. And he told me, he said, the working people go out when they get off work. They'll go and they'll probably go somewhere about 7, but they make sure they leave by 12 o'clock and they go home, because the target market for the officers, it's the club hours from 12:30 to closing. The officers here in Florida know that the club life, where it's at, downtown where I was at. See, listen, I did my own research for this second time around. Right? I went, backtracked. Picture of the dress I had on. The street I was on that the officer said that he was following me. The hand sanitizer in my car that I put on all the time. The street light that I was on before I took the left turn. The red light. I backtracked everything, took pictures. I don't play when it comes to my life. You're not going to sit here and try to make me seem like I'm a bad person. And y'all want to do another research? The president of the Mad Mothers. And I forgot, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. The president, she got arrested for a DUI. A lot of people don't know that. She's no longer the president. But she got arrested and had to feel what people go through. But she was really drinking and driving. Unlike me, I only had orange juice in a water bottle in my car. I was accused of drinking and driving when I know in 2017 I got arrested for drinking and driving. What do you make it think that I was going to drink and drive again February of 2020 when I went out? And the only reason why I drove because I didn't want to stay out long. And I didn't have the money at that time to take a Lyft. So I need this resolved. I need this case closed. I need them to leave me alone. I need to find a new destination to live. Florida is all good and great when it comes to the weather, when it comes to doing different things, a vacation, but it's not a place that I would recommend you to move and live for the rest of your life. I recommend people to move here, see how it is, but do not drink and drive. Catch a Lyft. Make sure you have enough money to get on a Lyft. You will be targeted, especially if you're this color. I am a minority black female in Florida. I live in a great neighborhood. My rent is $1,400 a month. I work a great job. I'm a case manager for the youth bill to help the youth, at-risk youth. I help women rebuild their lives. I'm doing what I need to do for my community. I'm serving. Y'all think Florida is all souped up? Let me tell you, Florida is the biggest fraud state too. It's a lot of companies that's moving to Florida because the tax break. Every time I drive to Brandon or Riverview, I pass a Confederate flag that this man bought the land just to put that Confederate flag up and have it wave big to remind us. every day where we are, where we're from, and what we got to tolerate because it just flies. I am tired of Florida, and I am searching for my next destination. But Florida ain't it. I do everything in my best way to stay out of trouble, stay out of the loop, do not hang around people that are going to cause me harm. And this is what happens. And honestly, I kept telling myself, I don't want to go out. I don't want to go out that night. I don't want to go out that night. All to get arrested and got to bail myself out for a second time. Mind you, they didn't get no blood. They didn't get no urine at all. Then I'm nervous. I have a tilted pelvic, a tilted hip. I kid you not, I am very pissy. I always got to pee. I peed when he was putting the handcuffs on me. I peed in his cop car. I peed in front of the cop car. I peed as soon as we walked into jail on the floor. I peed. And I do this every day at home. That's why I have to have a pee. That's why my desk at job, I have to be close to the bathroom medically. I don't like Florida. I like the vacation. I like the nightlife, like partying and stuff with the friends and stuff, the good vibes. But I don't like it if I'm going to be a target every time I get in my car and I got to drive and a cop want to run my plate. And ding, 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 I got one. Ding, 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 I got one. That's how the cops be. I thought cops was made to protect us. No. I'm scared every time I see an officer. I don't feel protected by any officer in any state. The Crips and Bloods was actually made to be the protection. But because society, because of everything that went on, the Crips and the Bloods started to beef and go against each other. Learn the history. The cops was never made for us. The cops was made to capture slaves. This system, this life right now is not made for us, and we got to make the best of it. We got to protect ourselves. And I tell my students all the time when they come in dressing the way they dress, listen, cops is not looking for people in the suit, looking for people in the suit. They're not looking for people that dress like this. Guess what? I feel like a hypocrite because guess what? These cops still looking for any fucking body with this color. It don't matter what you got on. The justice system is not built for us. It's built to go against us, and we need to build our own system. Us black people need to come together and realize how smart we are and how these people can't live without us. We are the biggest consumers in the world. We are the reason why half these people are rich. No, not half, majority. So like I said, I felt sexually assaulted that night. I am in a see-through dress. He looked me up and down. He had that little nasty smirk, and I should show his face. My handicap permit. What else? Tuffy tires. Yep. Right here. Got a picture of him. Found him on Facebook. I found the officer's page on Facebook. He looks so corrupted. He looks so evil. You could tell in his eyes. Listen, what God has for me is for me. No weapon formed against me shall prosper, and every tongue that rises up against me in judgment shall be condemned. I know that it's so much power, prosperity, peace, and abundance in my life. I know how powerful I am. And I know how powerful the God I serve is. And I know the power of prayer. So if you know how to pray, I just ask that you pray for me. And I ask that why is the cop still circling? Like, it's a cop right now circling my neighborhood. Like, it's the same cop going in circles. I'm like, for what? For what? I do not feel safe. I feel threatened. I feel like a target. And it has to stop. I no longer want to live in Florida. If you know any better states that is quiet, I want to move like to somewhere it's country, like it's nobody there. They only got one sheriff, and he knows everybody in the fucking neighborhood. And this sheriff is cool. He's allowed to come to the cookouts. I like to stay out the loop. I do not like to be a target. And ladies, you are not exempt to these officers. You see what happened to Sandra Bland. We are not exempt. You can have a pretty face, pretty body. You will be sexualized. Those machines in these jail systems that do the breathalyzer does not work. They do not calibrate it after every individual. I used to have one in my car, and you had to get it calibrated once a month. You can have on perfume, mouthwash, and hand sanitizer, and the machine will go off. And they're trying to now start DUIs for if you get caught smoking weed while driving. Yeah. Yep. So you think they're making it legal. It's still ways to make it illegal. So that's my story so far of being in Florida when it comes to the cops. I do not feel safe. And I recommend everybody that comes here to have fun, do it responsibly. Do not drink and drive. Get a Lyft, get an Uber, or have your hotel walking distance from where you're going to be hanging out at. So, Florida, it was nice. My lawyer's working on the case. It will be dropped. Charges will be dropped. Or something else will be worked out. But other than this, they got to leave me alone. And something got to give. They cannot keep getting away with this corruption. Something has to give. I'm tired. I'm tired. Every time I see a cop, I'm scared. Every time I drive somewhere, I'm scared. I do have a business permit that I am able to drive to work and home, or to stores, or to the hospital or doctors. They do give you that. And then I got my Connecticut license. So I got in a car accident. This officer still wrote me a ticket. Sir, he said, oh, you trying to work around the system. I said, no, I'm not. I always had a Connecticut license, and I also had a Florida license at the same time. I have documents, and I sent the documents to my lawyer showing that Connecticut reinstated my license. I was able to get a new one because I needed an ID. Because why Florida took my ID? I need a ID to get around. So when I applied, they sent me a license. Connecticut sent me my license. I got the document showing that I no longer need an ID in my car, a breathalyzer in my car, and that my license was reinstated. Back in January 2020. And I got in an accident 2 days after my birthday in 2020, December 2020. And the officer, you know, instead of just letting me go, he had to give me a ticket. He just had to. That's something he had to do. And granted, that's probably his job. That's a job. But he tried to say that I was trying to work around the system, driving with... I have license. That's all that should matter. But he said, you're driving with a Connecticut license, with your Florida license suspended. Sir, no, I'm not. That is your words. That is not what I was doing. I had both licenses since January 2020. And you took my Florida license February 2020. I want this shit dropped. And I want these cops to get caught. I want them to keep getting arrested. I want them to keep getting exposed. I want this officer. I want him to get caught in anything that he's doing. And no, I'm not wishing bad on nobody. I just want what is rightfully needs to be done. You do not need to be sexually assaulting the girls, looking at me up and down all sexually, doing the search. You should have got a female cop, and they didn't do that. So, that's a story for a Connecticut girl that lives in Florida.